And everything you've heard from me, it's probably something you'll hear again because I've learned it all from Dave. So I don't think there's a better person to be able to come and talk to all of us about different topics. Today, I just wanted to go over business owners doing business in person, your warm market. Dave has built his entire practice and career around warm market. He still does things pen and paper. He's old school, but it works. And it's something that ILN trains us to do as well, just the telesale side of things. So I wanted Dave to come in here and tell us just how easy it is to really go in and talk to business owners, how to start a conversation. What do you do with that conversation? How do you get them to want to book a time and meeting with you? And then how do you go through that process and what we can do for business owners? So there's a lot of different ways and different policies and products that we can use to help these people that nobody's really going in to talk to about these things. So I wanted Dave to come in and talk about that and just share with you guys what he's done and what he's been successful with and how that you guys can apply this to yourselves and hopefully get you really excited to go out there and start talking to business owners or people in your community. So, Dave, you can go ahead and start whenever you want.
All right. Thanks, guys, for coming on board. I appreciate it. I'm here in cold New Jersey. It's raining and still snow on the ground. So it's tough up here, you know. And I was just talking to Nikki about how nice and warm it is down in Texas. So, but, I've been doing this. I've been in business since October of 1987. So just about 39 years. I'll be entering my 40th year next year. And, it's been it's been a prosperous business for me. It's taken a long time to develop it. And everything I learned from somebody else. And I can't stress that the more meetings you guys attend, the more seminars you listen to people, the more ideas you get, it works, but you got to work them. You know what I mean? You hear something, okay, maybe I don't like that. Let me try it this way. And the telesales, this communication via Zoom has been dynamic for many people. People are knocking it on the ballpark. Guys are doing a great job with telesales and really, really getting a lot of business and writing a lot of applications. And there's nothing wrong with it whatsoever. I'm in the belief of, you have to adapt or die. So I have to go to these meetings via Zoom and do some things this way, even though I prefer much better being in person with people. But living in where I live in northern New Jersey, we live in Bergen County. I live in Bergen County. There are 1 million people in Bergen County. There's a lot of people in this area. There is a tremendous amount of businesses in this area. And I'm not, we have the mom and pop flower shops and the coffee shops and the bookstores and hardware stores and things like that, which are great places to go. But in my experience, what I've learned is I go to, and I'm sure you have them in your towns, but I find the easiest place to go and cold call, if you want to call it that, is to industrial areas where you'll see 10 or 15 small buildings, level, flat roof buildings, metal siding, and a door that says so and so automotive on the outside or a parts store, whatever it may be. I find those happen to be probably the best ones for me. And you can go on mom and pop shops. I'm not taking anything away from that. But those retail stores are probably a little too busy, and you're probably going to get a lot of fight back, like, oh, I'm too busy to see a salesperson. Don't come in here again, etc. So, and it's hard. You're going to hear that many, many times. And, if you go in 10 different businesses, you may hear, get out of here. No, I don't want to talk to you. We're good. We're fine. Probably 6 times. So it's not easy. And you can probably see a lot more people online. But the point of our business and the point of most businesses today, we are in a relationship business. We like the comfort of seeing somebody, talking to somebody, shaking their hand. How you doing? You look around their office, you could pick up certain things. They may have pictures of horses. You have an affiliation with horses. They may have a sports team on their wall. You may say something about their sports team. And they get to see us. And we're the most powerful asset we have. If people say, where do I want to invest my money? I want to invest in myself. Look what I'm doing. I'm good at what I do. We're licensed in this business. We know what we're talking about in this business, and we provide probably I call it the greatest financial tool ever developed by mankind is the life insurance policy. And that's ultimately what we want to sell. But when we go into small businesses, if you go in there saying, I think you need life insurance, they're probably going to throw you out of the business. So, I have a soft way of going in and asking the people, and this has taken a long time. I could talk about this now, and you say, "Oh, great, it sounds good." You go try it once, it didn't work, and then you pack it up and go, "I never want to do that again." It hurts your feelings, guys, when guys tell you no to your face. Okay? But I equate it almost it's like sitting next to the person if you guys have ever flown on an airplane. It's sitting next to the person on an airplane and they smell, they have bad breath, they won't stop talking. As soon as you get off the plane, you will never see them again. It's the same way with cold calling. You walk in a business and the guy says something to you, you don't like him, he doesn't like you. You guys part ways, you're never going to see him again. And if you do see him again, you may have a second opportunity to try and talk to him about something. So in a lighter way. So we have to get out of that thinking that they care about how it made us feel, or we care about how it made us feel, because you're never going to see them again. Like I said, you could see him again, but that's the attitude I have. So I go in and see somebody. Okay, they told me to get the hell out of the office. I'm not going to hold it against them. Fine. Some people are grouchy, some people aren't. Some people are very happy when you walk in their business. And the good thing about walking in an industrial business is there's probably a very good chance when you open that door, guess who you're going to see? The owner of the business. He's going to be right there, whether it's an automotive shop. Like I said, there's so many in this area selling, CNC turning machine tools, doors, windows, fabricating kitchen cabinets and things like that. And those markets are pretty big. You know why? Because they're not online all day. They're not getting on their computer at night going, "Oh, gee, let me go on Facebook." They're hardworking people. They're usually exhausted at the end of the day, and they don't mess around with playing on Facebook or Instagram. And like I said, I'm not making fun of that site. I mean, it's great that you get business that way, but these are a different kind of people. They're business owners, family members. They come home, they take care of their family, wife and kids, watch a little TV, have a beer, watch a football game, basketball game, baseball game, and go to bed. Next morning, they're up at 6 and they're back in their office. So I believe they don't have time to sit on a computer when they get home. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know. This is just what I've learned over the years of doing this. So, and the other thing is that their doors are always open. They're not closed. They're usually there early in the morning and they're usually there till late at night. And I find going in the morning is good sometimes, maybe at the end of the day is good. And you'll get the feel for that, whatever, you know, we have to have a good attitude going in there. So when we go into these places, if you're looking down at the ground, oh, is the owner in? Forget about it. You have to go in there smiling, being happy and jovial. You're not bringing doomsday to them, and they look at you a little bit differently. I'm telling you, it's your attitude and how we go in, how we present ourselves. If we're miserable, irritable, and discontented, they're going to see it in us. So if you're happy, smiling, if a girl's at the front counter or a boy's at the front counter, "Hey, how you doing?" Tell them your name. But sometimes you'll figure out what to say. Most of the time, I will ask about their employee benefits. As your employee benefits, because most people will get an increase on the renewal. Is your renewal approaching on your employee benefits? Has your agent discussed the options that you have in the state of New Jersey, what the new plans are? And new plans, they have come around in the state of New Jersey, their alternate funding plan is. So New Jersey had changed the laws for alternate funding plans, self-insured plans. So it's relatively new. So that's the market approach I go in to talk to people. Hey, there's a new self-funded plan, may be very advantageous for you. So now you may get his ear if health insurance is the way you want to go. And there's nothing wrong with selling health insurance. In the state of New Jersey, they pay $57 per employee that's on the plan every single month as long as they have the contract. So if you have 10 people, you're making $570 a month as long as they have that plan in force. That's a nice chunk of change. That's $7,200 in commission if you annualize it. You're not going to get annualized. They do it on a monthly basis, but that's the way I've built up my business. My health insurance business at one time before I sold it, and I've now gotten back into it, I had grown a book of business over $5 million in premium. And that's when the commission was 5%. So using health insurance to get in is a great soft approach to go see somebody. That's one way to do it, is the soft approach of employee benefits. Because then you can get into ancillary plans if they're, they may say, yeah, we have a health plan, it's really good. And once again, this is something you have to learn and consistently do it is, oh, that's great that you're happy with your health plan. Are you familiar with the ancillary plans that don't cost you a penny? What the hell's that? Well, I don't understand. What are these? What do you mean? And now you have something to talk about. And what I also stress that, well, I still do it today, is I say everything out loud. I write down on a piece of paper what I'm going to say before I get there. This way, I've written it down and I get to say it over and over and over and over again out loud. This way, nothing will break your distraction. If you walk into that business owner and say, I'm here for I want to talk to you about your health insurance, forget it. Hey, I know you're really busy. I just wanted to ask you a quick question. Has your health insurance renewal come in yet? When is your health insurance premium renewal for your group employee benefit plan? Group employee benefit plan, health insurance, however you want to phrase it, but keep saying the same thing over and over and over again, because by the time you get to the 10th person in saying this, you'll have it down pat. But you say it 10 times before you get into the first one. And I can't tell you exactly what to say. It has to be comfortable coming out of your mouth and sound really genuine. You know, when does your health insurance renew? Is your health insurance renewing in May, June? And if he says, you know what, it's coming due in July, give me a call then. Perfect. Now you write down July when you get outside and you go see him in June. So this is the way it's the way I work it, and it works for me because I keep saying the same thing when I go in there. And everybody's different. You may see people that I think I've been blessed with the ability to read people really well, and I could tell whether or not I want to joke with them, make a little, not, I just handle some people in a different way. And if there's two brothers in the place, oh, but I'm in business with me and my brother, that's a whole nother lane you can go down with buy-sell agreements. But I think the soft approach to get in is using the health insurance because we could all sell health insurance because we're life and health agents. Now it's just a matter of getting licensed with a health insurance provider, which I'm not sure if you guys have access to that. I'm sure you have access to it. I'm not just sure who you use. And not that we want to give them a plan that's less expensive. We just want to give them more value. So if somebody, and this is just sales 101, if somebody is paying $500 a month for a single employee in their group plan and they have a $2,500 deductible, why in the world would you go in there and try to make it $400 and have them keep a $2,500 deductible? Why do you want to lower the premium? Keep the premium the same and give them 1,000 so they get more value to it. Because if we sell price, we are going to be replaced in the following year by another person that comes in and sells them a lower price plan with a higher deductible. Oh, you're saving money. So we want to bring the value to them. They have to look at us as a value, as an asset to their business. Not that you want to take business from them. You want to be a value added to their business and you want to become the specialist in whatever it is. So when we get to phrase it properly, you have to write it down and say, hey, you know what? I think I want to go with the renewal. Hey, when does your health insurance plan renew? How simple of a question is that? Is it offensive? Is it bothersome to the person? Hey, when does your health insurance plan renew? Oh, ours comes up in August. Give me a call then. Hey, great. All right, what's your name? Thank you. Get his email, send them an email that, when you get back, thank you. I look forward to talking to you in August or June, whatever it may be, and then go see him again. And I find that when we go see people in person, I just handed my accountant my taxes for the year, and I spent I think $944 on Dunkin' Donuts. And I don't know if you guys have Dunkin' Donuts by you, but we have Dunkin' Donuts here. I bring in $15 Dunkin' Munchkins. I bring them with me. I give them to all my clients. I went down to see two people today. It cost me $30 in Dunkin' Donuts, but I brought them donuts when I went to go see them. So the employees remember, hey, that's the donut guy. Yeah, he's a donut guy who has a health insurance. And it's that relationship we build up with business owners because nobody wants to call on these people. They are people I have found in this industry, we're scared to death of rejection. We're scared. What are they going to think of me if I go in there? The more we go into people, the more we see them, the better off we will feel about going to see them. Because some of the biggest cases I've written, I've done some business online. I don't know how big of a case you can write online with people today. But if you want a gentleman to stroke a check for $25,000 for a whole life premium, I think it may be advantageous if you sit down with them in person. Just my opinion. I don't know. Maybe people write it outside and can do it online. I don't know. Um, but there's a lot more to it. Now you're with that gentleman. You see him. He knows you're around. He knows he's going to come by close to you. He knows that you're in the area. You care about him. Stop by and see him. Bring him more donuts in 6 months. You review them. You sit down in front of them and you review the policies with them as the statements come in. And that's how I build it. Is more out in person. I probably don't see as many people as I should. I've built up a client base of about 2,200 people right now, of which say 10%, 220 of them probably give me 80% of my business today. But I've grown with them over the years, and retention is big in this business because if we always got to keep chasing a new client, it becomes it's very tedious. It's very tedious and it's a lot of work. When we develop a relationship with business owners, it makes our lives a lot easier because then the accountant calls you and says, "Hey, I see they have a life insurance policy. Maybe it's something can I learn a little bit more about this Section 162 bonus? I don't understand how this works." So, these are things that will develop after we get a relationship with somebody, so that's why I feel it's pretty important, at least for me, and this is just the way I do it, is being able to see the people in my area. Since there's so many businesses, we're at a huge advantage here in New Jersey. I could spend there's 54 towns in Bergen County, and 54 towns. There's probably three industrial sections of each town. I couldn't see all of them in my lifetime if I wanted to. There's a tremendous amount of business around here, and there's diamonds in your own backyard. You would be shocked. The business owners in your own town that probably don't have health insurance or don't have the right health insurance plan. They don't have enough life insurance, certainly if they're business owners. They don't have a buy-sell agreement. So the soft approach is employee benefits. I don't know if you call them employee benefits, you can call them employee benefits. Your group health insurance plan. Do you offer a group health insurance plan? Whatever you feel comfortable asking. You walk into a business, do you have group insurance for your employees? Yeah, it's costing me so much freaking money. I don't know what to do with this year. Hey, when does your renewal come up? Maybe we can talk then. Hey, it comes up in 2 months. Thank you. I know you're busy. I'll talk to you in 2 months. I'll give you a call. Now you at least have a warm lead. Now he sees you and he knows you came in and you're going to come back and see him. So, just a simple question, do you offer your employees health insurance? Could be your way in. Or has your health insurance renewal come up yet? Well, I don't offer any benefits to the employees. Have you received any information about how much the cost would be if you did implement the plan? So it's a matter of how you feel. So that's why I can't tell you exactly what to say. It's how you want to phrase it because it has to come out naturally. Because if there's hesitation and you get to look somebody, and I'm telling you, there's no better of a power move or a confidence move than to look somebody right in the eye when you talk to them in person and say, "I'm here to help you." That's big. There's a trust issue there. And that's what we need today. To trust people, it takes courage. And we got to have a lot of courage and trust people, say, hey, you know what? They look at you and you're somebody you could trust because that's what this is about. It's about relationships. It's about how you're going to handle everything with them. And if they figure you came out to their office to talk to them about their group health insurance plan for their employees, have a seat. Next week, I'm really busy, but you know what? Come in 2 weeks from now. Hey, all right, great. Thank you. Make sure you remember his name. Nothing is more important to a business owner than their name. Nothing is more important. So know your speech, exactly what you're going to say when you get in there, and make sure you know who you're talking to. And if it says his name is Tom or Billy or Mary or Samantha, whatever it may be, say that name over your in your head 5 or 6 times and address him as Jim, Mr. So and so, whatever he introduces himself as. And I find that those, the C-suite people, the guys that the doctors and the lawyers, they have too much protection to get to them in their office. And you're probably never going to see them because they have an administrator in the front, HR, whatever. It makes it very difficult to see. Not saying you can't, but I just find that the blue collar business owners are probably they're my biggest clients. My top five clients, their net worth, I have one over $100 million, and the rest of them have a net worth of over $30 million. None of them, zero, went to college. Two of them never graduated high school. All right. They're plumbers, electricians, contractors, towing companies, trucking companies, and, lay macadam down for a living. These people got money and nobody calls on them. It's the greatest market ever made for me just by simply going in. And now, if I see business owners, I could talk to them about a buy sell, and it's a little bit different the way I talk to them. Hey, would you like to work with you? Would you like to pay your partner's wife for the rest of her life for not showing up here? What do you mean? Oh, let me talk to you about a buy sell agreement. So, that soft lead going in asking about, do you offer your employee benefits? Group health insurance, employee benefits, like I said, however you want to say it is just a door opener. And he may say, "No, get the hell out of here. We don't offer anything though. I'll see you later." Okay, great. Move on to the next one. And just learn what we said to him and say, you know what, maybe I gotta ask it a little bit differently. Okay. But always say it out loud before you go into the place. Because your stomach gets butterflies in it. I still get butterflies. I still love that feeling when I go see somebody in person and I don't know them who's going to open that door. I have no idea. And hey, here to talk to you about your group health insurance. What about it? Do you offer group insurance to your employees? Yeah, it comes up and whatever. You know what I mean? So you just have to ask the right questions. And I don't want to tell you exactly what to say because it has to come out of your mouth naturally and say, do you offer benefits? Have you had a renewal yet? Are you happy with the service your agent is producing? Are you happy with the network you're in? So, I mean, you could go in and say, are you happy with your employee network for your health insurance plan? So you know what I mean? The phrasing of those, I don't know what you could say exactly, but keep it simple and keep saying the same thing over and over again. Do you offer your employees health insurance? Pretty simple question. Is that offensive? Do you offer health insurance to your employees? So you're going to hear a couple answers. What could they be? Yes, we do, and we're very happy with it. Or if he says, yes, we do, are you happy with the benefits? Yeah, but they're a little expensive. All right, when does the plan renew? So simple. Do you offer health insurance to your employees? You offer employee benefits if you want to sound fancy. So, and give the prospect some time to reply back to you. They may think about it a little bit. Don't overtalk them. Let them come back with a reply. Think about it. Don't jump right back at them and say, "Oh yeah, well we have the." Hey, you know what? Maybe next week we can get by. We can meet next Tuesday or Wednesday. You know how to book an appointment. I would assume we all know how to book an appointment. You give them a choice on what day they want to meet, morning or afternoon. Next Tuesday or Wednesday. Now he gives them a choice. Next Wednesday is good. Morning or afternoon. He's making the choice. So that's the powerful point of going in to see business owners is simple. Do you have employee benefits? Do you offer health insurance to your employees? And then once that's established, now when we go back and implement the plan, now you have a whole bunch of employees, 3, 4, 5 new prospects that you're filling out an application, getting their name, address, social security number, all their kids' information. Hey, do you have life insurance? Have you looked at your life insurance? So it opens up a door that's beyond our wildest imagination where it can lead to, especially for the business owner. You own the business by yourself? Oh, my brother's my business partner. Wow. Okay. So, that it just opens up a door that you probably never have thought of getting into right now. At least this is what I do and this is what I've done, and it's been pretty good for us. That's for sure. You know. And you got to be confident when you walk in there. Keep your head up all the time. Dress appropriately, no sweatpants or anything like that. Um, feel good about yourself and go in there or it's a sunny day, rainy day, it doesn't matter. Especially if it's a bad day, they really like that because everybody's going to be inside. And then they look at you and go, what the hell is this guy doing out on a pouring, raining day coming out to see me? Wow, he's pretty dedicated to his business. And I don't believe too many people do cold calling anymore. Number one, it takes a lot of time. Number two, it could be very embarrassing because we are going to face rejection immediately. You're going to get slapped in the face, not by him, I'm just saying figuratively, and it's going to hurt our pride and our ego. Wow, that really sucked. Well, guess what? Now you got courage, now you got strength, now you go back to do the next one. And then you get develop thick skin. And you say, you know what, I'm gonna try and hit 5 businesses today and see what happens. And you go in 5, and that one you get makes up for everything else in the world that just happened. Hey, yeah, it's coming up for renewal. That is the best thing when you hear that. Yeah, you know what? It's coming up for renewal and we're not happy with our plan. Oh, that's music to my ears, you know? And that's the way I develop business relationships too. But we got to practice exactly what we're going to say when we walk in, and you got to look them straight in the eye. Got to be confident. And I always use the we approach, not I. I work with a team of professionals. We can get this for you. We do this. We specialize in this. I stay away from the I because when you have a team approach to it, it exudes confidence that he looks at you and says, wow, he's not just by himself. So I use the team approach quite often, or the we, especially when I send an email out to somebody, it's the we. I'm going to have our team look into it. Who's our team? Well, I'm asking my administrator down the street, at the company. That's our team. So we have to be careful what we say, get used to what we say, and keep doing the same thing over and over again and share your work with Nick. Show him something or show it to me when hopefully if I can get moved over to here so that we work on something together. Short, sweet, concise, and then you hit the road. And it takes time. You 3 hours you may get to see 10 people. Whereas if you're online in 3 hours, you may see 100 people. I don't know. You know what I mean? There is a big difference. You could probably get a lot more online. But if you really want to write these big cases, and you want to qualify for $1 million roundtable, or you want to go on your insurance company's next convention, start writing the big ticket items, start dreaming about those big ticket items, because I believe the way you get them is if you're working in person with a business owner, because they got the money, and especially in New Jersey, there's not a lot of poor people working in the business in New Jersey. They're all pretty successful people. So, and never look down on the business they do. Just because they have dirty hands doesn't mean they don't have money. And treat everybody with respect. Have confidence when you go in there. Keep saying the same thing over and over again. Do you have health insurance? Does it renew? Like I said, whatever you want to say, whatever is comfortable for you, but practice it out loud, write it down, and get confident. Keep your head up and just keep knocking on doors, So, but, you know, that's really all I got to share with you guys for now. And if you guys have any questions about something you want to try or anything, I'm open for anybody out there across America to ask me a question about it.
Yeah. Thank you,
Wherever
Dave.
you may be located, Texas, California, Washington State, Wisconsin, Florida. So let me
That's
know.
great. Thank you, Dave. Yeah, I'm sure, I know Nikki definitely has some questions, so get to that. The main thing I would say, and I'm sure the question on everybody else's mind is I know enough about health insurance because of you. Like if I were to do that, I would come to you, but I'm assuming pretty much everyone here is not in the health insurance business and knows how to talk about it. So would you still recommend we go in with that and then we come to like you, be like, Dave, I got these people, but health insurance.
Correct. Well, like I said, if we're talking about our team, yeah, you work with a team of professionals that can get health insurance. Your name would go on the application. You guys would get compensated for it, or my name goes on it. That's that's really relevant at this point is now you gain them as a client and he's all your client. So once that client relationship has been established, now you can go back and talk to him about the group life insurance or his personal life insurance. So because what we want to do is get a client. Like I used to work in my uncle's clothing store, and he said, Dave, when somebody comes in here, I don't care if you sell them a pair of shoelaces, make them buy something when they leave, before they leave. It's the same thing with like get them as a client because now that's just another person. You planted a seed. You got to germinate. It's to germinate it. You got to water it. You got to take care of the grass. You got to take care of the. You got to fertilize it. You got to water it. Make sure it stays out in the sun, and then it grows up to be something pretty big. Because you don't know where these can lead to. But if he's happy with the service your team brings in, and maybe you don't have a selling agreement, so maybe you won't get paid on a group insurance policy for health insurance, but you keep all the life insurance premiums. So, we have to pay it forward. Sometimes it's not all about just making the buck and saying, oh, God, I got screwed out of that deal. Well, you know what? You got him as a client. Now you can go in there and see him. Now you bring him the Dunkin' Donuts on his birthday. You wish him a happy birthday. You call him up. You stop by their office, whatever it may be. Because I find in cultivating clients that are already ours, they grow so much bigger, they grow so much better, and they produce so much fruit for us that your dreams you don't need. I'm telling you, 200 clients in my portfolio have paid us millions and millions of dollars throughout the years. And that's what it's about. It's cultivating the good ones, picking the little ones that you have, yeah, to find, to get paid and eat and pay your bills and things like that. But you want to go on vacation, you want to buy a new car, you want to buy a nice house, you need the big ticket items. And the big
Mhm.
ticket items come from a relationship through business owners. And they could be C-suite business owners. I don't know. That's very difficult, but there's nothing wrong with that. You can get there if you can get there. Those are the country club fines. I don't work in a country club. I don't belong to a country club, but the guy that's in the dirt making doorknobs, I mean, that's what I'm looking for, the guy making money. And so you ask for health insurance and then you have your team take it over and you go back with life insurance because now we trust you. So
Mhm.
but
Great,
we can certainly do that team approach and we can find a way to compensate you for it. That's for sure. I could tell you that
great,
somehow,
great.
you know.
Nikki, I know you got some questions. You,
Just growing into it. I mean, he nailed it right there. I've never expanded to this. I am the right here in my cave in my office on leads. Talk a little bit to warm market. I've had a few big ticket, I have a book of business of 218 clients. I have not stepped out. So no, I've only got a few big ticket clients.
Right.
But what am I surrounded by? HVAC, plumbing, metal shops, automotive shops. My daughter is 16 years old. She's an apprentice now for HVAC and plumbing with a multi-million dollar company. My partner is a master plumber for a multi-million dollar company. And
Yeah.
it's this little fear that, okay, what do I go in there and say? I've met them all. I know them all.
Right.
Help.
Yeah. We specialize in employee benefits. Oh, you do? Really? Okay, well, let's get on a call. I'll fly to Texas and help you if you want to. You know what I mean? That's we specialize. I mean, the wording, like I said, depending on the person when I go see them, I decide the wording at that time. I've had my scripts and written out, but because I get a feel, is he going to want to hear specialized or is he just going to want to hear basically right to the bottom line, like we could save you some money. So, and it depends, those are, but I just go along that employee benefit line. Like, what are you doing for your employees? Simple question. What are you doing for your employees as far as group insurance?
Is
Is that
life
better?
insurance
Does
for
that
them?
sound better when you say it? You know what I mean? So, those are different things that we have to figure out ourselves. Are you happy with your employee? Are your employees happy with the plans that you offer to them? Well, I don't offer to them. I hate everybody. Well, they probably don't, but you're going to hear some strange things. But you have to ask,
right.
And I know four of them that do. I mean,
right?
they're offering it. So can we be competitive? Can we help them?
Right. That's a simple question to ask them. Hey, are you happy with your employee? Are you happy with the group health plan that you offer your employees? And don't say anything and then let them talk. Because sometimes we get so nervous. I used to get so nervous, we just talk over it. And do you have employee benefits? Yeah, but because we have a really good plan. Why? I didn't tell you anything about the plan. Like, just be quiet. It's just, do you offer employee benefits? Do you offer health insurance to your employees? You know, and it's such a soft approach that nobody, you don't rile any feathers. It's an easy approach. You offer health insurance to your employees. That's probably the simplest thing I could say. And then don't say anything. And then let them say something, and then just be prepared to answer. When you answer, yeah, we specialize in small groups, less than 20, because he's got 20. He says, yeah, I got 15 employees. Great. We specialize in small groups of less than 20 employees. We got a really good plumbers program. We got a really good electrical program, whatever it may be. You know, you have to make them feel special about it.
Yeah. Well,
And
that's
you're
how we
there to
do the
help, and
leads.
you're there to add value. So, like I
You
said,
make it
just
sound
simple.
special to them, that makes it better. Yeah, it's specialized for plumbers and that are under 20
Right.
employees. Perfect.
Yep. Do
Yeah.
you offer health insurance to your employees? That's probably the simplest thing you could say. And don't talk yourself out of it. Then be quiet. Do you offer health insurance to your employees? No, get the hell out of my office. Okay, thank you. How about next month? Are you going to offer it to them? Jokingly, like I would say something like that because that's just, the way I do it, you know. So you're going to need them someday, and I'm going to be back. Believe me. Okay, come back then, and then come right back. A month later, I'm there with Dunkin' Donuts. Hey, you told me to come back. And oh crap, you're here again.
Hmm.
You know, and,
Do you
and
take donuts?
what's that?
Do you take donuts?
I do. I bring them donuts. I bring donuts that tell me to get out of their office. I'm like, hey, I just wanted to drop off some donuts. You seemed a little upset last time I was here. I want to make up to you. Holy cow, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
On the second one, not the first when
The
you
second
walk in.
one,
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh,
right,
second one.
right,
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
because now they just know a little bit. And it's tough. I mean, they may not, but you have to try. So when you step outside, it's invigorating. It really is because you get to see somebody and you get to learn how to read people and see their actions. And I'm not too good at doing that online,
Hmm.
because when you're in the same room breathing the air they are, it's a different feeling.
Hmm.
And you can just tell by their mannerisms, the way they're sitting, what's in the air. It's strange. It's a gift I was been blessed with. God gave me this gift to be able to do that. And I could say certain things that probably none of you could say it. Being in the business, I've been doing this for 39 years, so I have a little different way of approaching it.
Hmm. Comes with experience and time. Same with
Right, but
telesales.
you
That's what
have
I
to
tell
try. You
everybody.
have to try and go. Guess what? That didn't work too well.
Yeah.
And you move on to the next one. But I cannot stress the fact of writing it down, and even on your sales calls with people on the telephone, say the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, and hone it, listen to it. This thing that we have, this thing right here, this cell phone, the best thing you could do, and it's hard to do because I despise doing it, is you see this little record button on here? You record a phone call, that your simulated phone call, and then play it back to yourself and see how you sound. You want to be shocked? See how many times you say, I mean, I was at a seminar doing public speaking, and every time you use the word or like, they would blow like a foghorn. And it is you want to stop using that, you could do that in a second once you hear it. So you hear, yeah, well, we do this, or like, it's like this, it's like this, it's like this, or when you hear it, you will pick up on it very quickly and say, you know what? I got to stop using the word like, and change it, because if you don't analyze yourself, someone else is going to do it for you, and you're not going to get any business from it. And this goes for not just in person, even telemarketing stuff, online. Know exactly what you're going to say and hone it down so that if a bomb gets dropped, you know exactly where you left off. You guys all know probably some, Mary had a little lamb, or, those little sayings that people have, them by heart. That's exactly the way we have to be with our presentation. Because once we know it, nobody can, that it's so important because you only get one shot. It's not like, oops, you know what? Can I call the guy back? You know, same thing when you're working in person with someone. You only have one shot. So it's the same whether it's in person or via the internet. Hone your program down and look straight at the screen, record it, know it, and say, okay, this is great. So it applies to online as it does as in person. I just find it's a lot more rewarding in person for me personally, but you
Mhm.
know.
Yeah, it's the same with all the telesales that we do, Dave. I'm just like, you just
Right.
have to go in there, fuck up. Like the more you make mistakes and mess up, you're gonna learn from that. You're gonna
Right.
develop your practice. If you just go in doing the same thing every other time and change things here and there, you're gonna develop your own style, your own internal script that you're
Right.
gonna follow. So if we can do it for telesales, where people will tell you to get off the phone or F off, whatever,
Right.
it's the
It's a
same
lot
as
hard. It's
in
very hard.
person. Yeah,
Yes, I would say it's probably harder online to do that with a phone call or telesales. You know, it's just the same. It's just that when you're in person, you can see them, feel them, touch them.
right.
You
And that
know.
that's to my point is it's if we go out there and we do this, it's not going to be easy right away. You're going to have to go through a lot of no's and get out of here's until you
Oh, yeah.
really develop it and feel confident in what you're saying, right?
But you know, also I know the area. You know, obviously I've been in this area. I've lived here for 62 years. So if somebody, you know, in a business, once you get to know them, you know, okay, well, they live in Ridgewood. Well, I know that's a really prestigious town, or they live in Wanacue, or they live in Saddle River, or they live in Franklin Lakes. Now you're talking about a whole different you know, or I live in Ridgefield Park. What's the different? You know what I mean? So it's very interesting when you get to meet people because now they're right by you, and there's diamonds in your own backyard. You
Hmm.
really you'd be shocked at how many people. You know,
Hmm.
I mean, the greatest story ever told is about the South African diamond farmer when their diamonds were rampant in South Africa. And he had a 200-acre farm. And he said, I'm going to sell all my farm property and I'm going to go look for diamonds because there's so many. Sold his property, 200 acres. A month later, the new guy bought the property, found the largest diamond ever in the world right on that guy's property. And this guy sold everything to go look for diamonds somewhere else.
No.
So there's diamonds in your own backyard. You'd be shocked how many business owners are right there, and we don't have to go out too far to get them. But
Hmm.
no,
Oh,
it's to each his own. But if you
yeah.
just, hey, do you guys offer health insurance to your employees? Yes or no? And then you think, okay, well, if he says yes, what's going to be my next question? Are you guys happy? Are the employees happy with the plan? Are they happy about the cost? Are they excited about the cost? So, you know, there's so much there that we can follow up on as long as you're comfortable asking it, you know.
Hmm.
So, is
When
cost a factor, you
I,
know?
I don't want to keep you too long, Dave, but I do want to go over one topic, which has helped me. I think you told me to do this. Let's say we're not going into someone brand new and we know a business owner, we know somebody personally, and like what you would talk to them about. Like for me, I think what you told me is ask about a buy-sell agreement. That's such an easy thing to ask somebody, especially if you know they have a partner. I think what I did was he's like, "Oh, I own a ticketing broker business." Well, that's great. You have a business partner? Like, yeah, I have a business partner. Oh, great. When's the last time you reviewed your buy-sell agreement? And he's like, oh, actually, it's coming up. Great, we should talk.
There you go.
So let's say they know somebody and they have some type of relationship now. Like, what's another a way, maybe in that route, or even talk about buy-sells, and like that's maybe a way in the door.
Yeah, the biggest buy that what has gotten me the most buy sell and is asking and just what I had mentioned before. Would you want would you want to pay your business partner's wife $200,000 a year for not showing up to work here every single year? That's hard to handle. Because then when they really think about it, they're like, holy cow, because on death, everything this husband owns goes to the spouse. So his 50% of the company goes to the spouse. Now she's 50% owner of a company. She doesn't work there. She's never been there. She's just reaped the benefits and she knows her husband gets $200,000 a year every year from this business he busts his ass on. How's the business partner going to feel paying her off? What are you going to pay her off with? He's not working anymore. That is such a drain on the business. such a drain on the business. And that's the biggest thing that I've seen get people riled up. And now some guys are smart Alex and say, yeah, his wife's gorgeous. I wouldn't mind working with her. You know what I mean? There's smart Alex like that too. But, when they really think about it, they're like, holy cow. Or a father son. Father son is probably more likely to occur. And there's a lot of fathers that will give the business to the son. And the key is the policy goes on the son's life when he buys out dad, because dad sells the business and he's supposed to get $15,000 a month as long as the son runs the business. What happens if the son dies?
Hmm.
What's he going to do? Come out of retirement? No, he needs to get paid for that income that he was going to receive on his son's life. Now, does this generate a term policy? It's probably going to be more so of a term sale because the payouts will be over 10 years. But they could be some pretty big premiums, for a 45-year-old kid with a 70-year-old dad that's retiring. He's going to need $3 million of coverage for 10 years, because if he were to die in that 10-year period before the payout is exhausted, then you're gonna have a problem. But he became a client of yours, so that's the important thing. So it may not be as big a sale as you want, but the father-son sale is a big market, because dads will say, yeah, man, my son's just gonna pay me for the rest of his, for the next 10 years, he's gonna be paying me $240,000 a year. Well, that's 2.4 million. You better have coverage on the son, because what's the dad gonna do?
Hmm.
He agreed to
Actually have
sell it for
somebody.
2.4 million. You don't have the money anymore. Who's going to come out of retirement? Who's going to take over? Business goes in the tubes. There goes his retirement. Everything's ruined over what? A $4,000 term premium that they could have paid. So that's like shooting fish in a barrel all day. That one.
Hmm.
You
I
know,
gotta bring one
Dealing
up to
with
you
business
then.
owners is a little different. Because now the new step, I don't know, there's a big tax ruling that came in with the Supreme Court and with the step up in basis, and it's a little bit, so buy sell agreements, we got to be a little bit more careful, because that valuation gets brought in, it lifts the value of the business, and it can be taxable. In New York, there's only a $7 million exemption in New York. It is a horrible place to die. So, and
Hmm.
I am 5 miles from New York, so we do a lot of business in New York. So that buy sell agreement, we got to be careful on those. So, but
Right.
that's for another day. So,
Right. Well, basically, and what I was trying to accomplish today is just getting people somewhat comfortable and understand how to go and talk to business owners, and at least get a meeting where if we get somebody, and that's what I've done with you time and time again. Like, Dave, I got this guy on the other line. I need you to
yes,
to
yeah,
talk to him.
yeah,
Like, I'll call Dave like as I'm talking to him. Like, and let me get my specialist on the phone. Let me see if he's available. Like, Dave, I need your
right.
help with this one here.
Yeah,
So it's not that you need to go out and figure this on your own. You'll have Dave to help you. Dave would be more than happy to help each and every one of you if you have opportunities, or you're thinking of people right now or businesses that and you want to know how to approach it and the best way to go about it. I know Dave would be more than happy
oh God.
to help you formulate a plan or a strategy or what to say, or what maybe you did talk to them and they don't know what you don't know what to do from there. Dave
Right,
is more than happy to assist and help you guys in any way that he possibly can to help you get that business.
right. And you could send them, Nick, you could send them my phone number and email, whatever.
Yeah, I'll type it in the chat here. So yeah, I mean, I think we'll definitely need more of these, Dave, maybe more on specific topics. Maybe we do one on health insurance to get people familiar with it, to be able to talk about it more. I'm also thinking maybe we talk to Dina and see like, hey, are you guys teaching people about health insurance?
Right.
Maybe we should start doing that, and you can do that so people can become familiar with having these conversations and tell them how great health insurance is and how it can lead to
Right.
so much business.
Yep. 100%. It opens the door. How you feeling, girls? You okay?
Yes,
All
thank
right.
you.
All great information, Dave. Thank you.
Yes.
Denzel, how you doing over there?
Doing great. I'm just
All right.
soaking in all the info.
All right, kid.
Denzel is not licensed yet. He reached out to me wanting to join the industry,
Oh,
and
good.
he's in the
Denzel, it's
process
it's
of
the
getting it
it's
done.
perhaps it's the most difficult sales job in the world, but it is the most rewarding and pays the most amount of money. It's hard. My first 3 months, if I could, this is any solace to you, first 3 months of business in October of 87 till January of 88, I made about $150.
Wow.
So it
Wow.
took time. And our way of cold calling was a telephone book, if you know what one of those are. I'm not sure if you do, and a rotary phone. I just sat
That's
there.
all cold calling.
That's it. Big,
Yeah.
thick phone book, and just started put my finger in it. Hey, Tom Matzel. Hey, Tom Matzel. David Kaleo here. Yeah. And you had to call and let it roll all the way back. Well, we didn't have area codes. It was just direct. So now everybody's got area codes. So at least we didn't have to dial area code. We only had 7 numbers to dial. So
That is also why we have the telesales for newer agents to be able to at least make some money to make
oh
it
yeah,
a couple months.
it's great. There's nothing it works. I've seen people make a lot of money in this business doing it that way. But the big ticket items, you want guys writing checks for 25, 35, you know. And I'll just end with this. My smallest premium, I've told Nick this 100 times. My smallest premium has probably been about $75 for a term policy. My largest premium was a liquor store that I used to frequent many, many years ago. The premium, because they own a number of liquor stores, for mom at age 65 at the time was $573,000. That was the largest case I ever wrote for a policy for $10 million on her life because she wanted her son to get $200,000 a month for 5 years. She died probably 3 or 4 years ago. The death benefit was up near 14, 15 million. I've paid 55 claims in this business. 25-year-old to a 95-year-old. I've seen it fill the void in people's lives. We are the second people they call. You don't know how important we are to them. We are very important to them. And it's truly what we do is amazing. And we have to hold ourselves in respect for that and respect ourselves for that because we're licensed. It is the greatest financial tool ever made. Forget about the stock market, all that. That's great. Everything's peachy, but we deliver millions of dollars instantly to family members. No GoFundMe page, no nothing. And it's for pennies on the dollar. If people truly understood life insurance, and I'll end with this, if people truly understood life insurance, they would not need an insurance agent. And we never, ever, 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 ever want to put another life insurance policy down or make fun of another competitor in this business. We treat ourselves all with respect. I don't care if it's Prime America, they bought a decreasing term policy, great policy. This is good. I'm so happy that you have it, but I don't think it fills your needs right now. Never, ever, ever, ever put down because you're calling the person stupid and you're making fun of our industry. Do not ever do that in our business. It's a good policy. It served its time, and I think we should move on with something different. So, okay.
Great. Thank you so much, Dave. I
Guys.
really
And
appreciate it.
girls, I say guys, I'm not being.
Yes, thank you.
It's just.
It's a
One
Jersey thing.
question. I have a quick question.
Yes, Denzel, go ahead.
You had mentioned, excuse me, you had mentioned that to not say like and in your excuse me, when in your when you're talking to the person, what are some alternatives? Because I feel like it's the natural human thing to use that, especially if you're in like a flow state. Like if you're just, talking naturally, you'll, to try to find the next word. What are some suggestions to not use like and
I would, if you first off, Dan, if you record your voice when you make a sales presentation, write it all out and just, like you handle a regular phone call. Hi, Mr. Smith. This is Tommy, Bobby, whatever. And this is what we have to offer. I don't know your sales script, but whatever that may be, read it out and record your voice and then play it back. And if you hear a lot of ums and likes, get rid of them immediately because your prospect will hear those and he hears a little bit of doubt and he hears, well, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Why is he saying this so many times? So effective communication is key in this business because we only have a short window to get in, put our fingers in, to climb in that window to help these people out because it's a psychological sale. They hear something, they don't, I don't like that. That doesn't sound right. And there's so much more to selling than just that. ums and likes, but just if you can get used to kicking those out of your language, you will help yourself, Denzel, like never before.
Just be conscious of it when you're doing
Be
calls and
conscious
think
of, yeah,
about it, and it's not gonna go away right
right.
away. You
It
just gotta consistently
it'll
work on it.
dissipate over time, but you'll pick it up and you'll realize. And then once you notice it, then you hear someone else talk that way. You're like, oh, wow, they say and like a lot. So, but
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
all right, guys, thank you for your
Thank you.
time.
Thank you,
Thank
Dave.
you so
I'll have
much.
you back
Denzel,
on
join the
soon.
business, Denzel. It's a great business we're in, kid. You will
Thank you